Market shutdown sparks protests in Anambra as Soludo moves against Monday sit-at-home. The decision by Anambra State Governor Professor Charles Soludo to shut down markets across the state has ignited fresh tension as traders and residents took to the streets in large numbers to protest what they described as a harsh and counterproductive policy. Governor Soludo ordered the closure of major markets in Anambra State following the continued observance of the Monday sit-at-home by traders and residents, a practice that has persisted despite repeated assurances by the state government that normal economic activities should resume. According to the governor, the directive was aimed at discouraging compliance with the sit-at-home order and restoring full commercial activities in the state.
Prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody.
However, the announcement of the shutdown of the main market triggered an immediate backlash. Traders, artisans, and residents pour out in their hundreds, staging protests and voicing anger over the decision, which they say further worsens their already fragile economic situation. Many protesters argued that shutting down markets punishes innocent citizens who are already victims of fear, insecurity, and lost income. Placards bearing inscriptions such as "We want to trade, not suffer," and "Market closure is not the solution" were seen as demonstrators marched through key streets, chanting slogans and demanding a reversal of the directive. Some traders lamented that Mondays had already become days of forced inactive and closing markets on other days and months to compounding their losses. Critics of the policy argue that the government's approach fails to address the root cause of the sit-at-home, which they say is driven by fear of violence and insecurity rather than deliberate deviance of state authority. They insist that meaningful dialogue, improved security, and confidence-building measures will be more effective than sanctions. On the other hand, supporters of the governor's action maintain that the state cannot afford to allow an unofficial shutdown of its economy to continue unchecked. They argue that firm measures are necessary to send a clear message that Anambra must move forward and that economic life cannot be held hostage. As protests continue, the development accentuates the growing tension between government authority and public sentiment in the Southeast, raising fresh questions about how best to end the Monday sit-at-home without further deepening hardship for residents and traders in Anambra State. Let's listen to Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo on the EU.
Prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. 2024, 2025 will be very patient, pleading. 2022, 2023, we are busy fighting all of this. 2026, we are turning on gear 4. Anybody that closes any of it will help you close it for the next week. If you like holidays, we help you. But going forward, we'll now come after and take those from you and give to those who are ready to use them. At least we'll have some powers in that regard. Market cannot open because it is your private district. I also have powers to revoke your ownership of that place in public interest. And we are going to be deploying this in coming weeks. We are still open. We're open to some conversation. But as for keeping those shops open, there is no negotiation about it. It's either that they are open or we use them for something else. Main market, for now, as it is currently structured, as our biggest market, Newi, all these markets, building materials, head bridge, this and so on and so forth. I have a meeting with their leadership tomorrow, once again, for us to have because by Monday, those of them, any of them that fails to be open again, going to be locked, maybe for 2 weeks, in the first instance, before we begin to take over some of them. But main market, if it remains closed again, we're going to now shut it down. And
you've heard from the horse's mouth why markets were closed in Anambra State. Now, what do you feel is the solution to the Monday sit-at-home order in southeast region of Nigeria?